Okay, next on the list is draw and edit polylines, which we pretty much covered when I was showing you the fillet and chamfer. I kind of showed you how we could, when we used the grip editing, how we could type in our distance and our angles and things like that. And that's really all that is talking about, draw and edit polylines. But I'll kind of show you a couple other little tricks. I don't think they're going to test what I'm going to show you, but typically it's just activating the polyline and then typing in a distance or an angle. That's what they would be testing. So other things you can do, of course, this is a polyline, editing the polyline. You can grab a grip and do all kinds of weird stuff to it. But as you see, it's giving you all kinds of measurements. Looking on the screen, the far left says 14.7953. That is a distance from that corner to the beginning of this strange arc that I'm creating. Then there's another measurement. I can actually tab through these different measurements. This right here is tabbing to the angle. So basically the angle from that that far point to the left is what it's referencing at a 35-degree angle. And then tab to other, reading basically from the end of my cursor to the end of the node at the end of the line, or the reference line. But anyway, you can do that. You can put in all kinds of distances and degrees and things of that nature. I thought you could actually edit these other distances up here, but it doesn't look like it. But again, you can play with that, see what you get. Again, this is not tested, so that's just for giggles, I guess. Now the next one is apply hatches and gradients, and for some reason, I don't know why, but AutoCAD really uses a lot of energy when you hatch, which is to me very simple graphical execution, but it takes a lot of memory, and sometimes your program will kind of give you some problems there. So hatching, simply click on hatch and it'll say pick an internal point, or you can type in the actual coordinates of the point. It's much easier to just pick the point in here. And of course you have, and that was kind of getting stuck up there a little bit, you have all of your different patterns, and you can scroll through that or click on this little button to get a bigger scroll box and just choose whichever that you need to use. Let's say like concrete, and click it in there. Give it a second, because again it takes a little bit of memory for some reason, and then click the enter button to accept what you've got. Now you can edit that. You don't have to wait till later to edit it. You can edit it as you place it or before you place it. But you can change the pattern here, solid, gradient, or pattern, and user defined. I have not really played with that much. You can also change, is it by layer or just by the individual object or what have you. Well, let's see. You got by layer or by block. Block would be the individual object. Then what is this? None, whatever. I guess that's color. Let's try one. Well, yeah, it's background color. Okay, so that's background color that we're looking at right here. And if you hover over it for a second, it will tell you exactly what it is. And then there is hatch color, okay, by layer or by block. Okay, we did the pattern. Hatch transparency. You can change the appearance, the transparency or not. And you can also change the angle, like so. And these, of course, I don't think they will ask you on the test. I think on the test, on the user test, it's as simple as, place a hatch here or place a certain type of hatch. And you also have scale. Scale I play with a little bit. If you know the scale you want, you can type it in. But I actually just, So there used to be a way you could do it just with your mouse. But anyway, I just click on the button here to get it to go bigger or smaller. And I just do that to get it to the size I want it. I usually rarely have a specific scale I want it to be. You can kind of play around with that, see what you like. And let's say that's really it. There are more things to hatching over here, but those aren't really tested. And of course, I went into some of this here that's not tested either. But basically, you just want to be able to go to hatch, pick a pattern, and place it. They might actually ask you to change the angle. I'm not sure, but it is a possibility. But it is something that you'd want to use. And then, of course, the gradient, as you saw here, we can change that right here, or we can go back. Let's see. Let's go ahead and accept everything here like it is. And instead of selecting hatch, we can select gradient. And then we can put a gradient right here in this box. And we can change the color of our gradient. Start it with that color. It looks like a sunrise, maybe. Maybe pale that yellow up a little bit. Still transparency. You can make that a little bit more transparent if you wish. And then there you go. Okay, so there is hatching, there is gradients, and what was the other one we talked about? Drawing and editing polylines, but there really wasn't anything extra to that. So as you see, it's going to be pretty easy. The user test isn't that difficult at all. I'll try to make some videos kind of going over some questions and whatnot of the things that they would ask you on the test. So anyway, that is that. So stay tuned for the next video, which will be organizing objects. It says to change object properties, alter layer assignments for objects, and control layer visibility. Those are pretty simple too. So we'll see you on that video.